Hello, in this video, let us understand various measures to correct balance of payments disequilibrium. Disequilibrium in balance of payment is an economic problem. It becomes a serious problem if the country runs deficit in balance of payment continuously. Therefore, it becomes necessary for the government to take measures to overcome disequilibrium in the balance of payment. So, in this video, let us discuss about various possible measures to correct balance of payment disequilibrium. There are innumerable measures. There are good number of measures have been evolved over a period of time. Broadly, we can classify the measures to correct balance of payment disequilibrium into automatic correction and deliberate measures. Even automatically also, the balance of payment disequilibrium will be corrected. They are the monetary measures and miscellaneous measures. Under monetary measures, we have monetary contraction or expansion, devaluation or revaluation, exchange control. Under miscellaneous measures, we have foreign loans, incentives for foreign investment, tourism development, incentives for foreign remittances, import substitution. There are certain trade measures like export promotion and import control. Under export promotion, abolition or a reduction of duties, export subsidies, export incentives are the export promotion measures. On the other hand, import control measures include import duties, import quotas, import prohibition, etc. So this tell us various possible measures to correct balance of payment disequilibrium. Now let us study one by one. So broadly speaking, the different measures for correcting balance of payment disequilibrium can be classified into two categories as monetary measures and trade measures. In the beginning, let us focus on monetary measures. Domestic inflation. Inflation in the economy is a main factor behind balance of payment disequilibrium, which make exports costlier and import cheaper. So to overcome inflation, the monetary measure is to bring down the price level, reduce the domestic price level by resorting to deflationary measure. Opposite of inflation is deflation. Deflation or reduction or decline in the domestic price level can be brought about by using policies such as monetary policy, fiscal policy, and income policy. Deflation improves balance of payment by reducing our imports and increasing our exports. By deflation, the domestic price level will be brought down. So low level of prices brought about by deflation makes our goods cheaper to foreigner and help increase our exports. On the other hand, during deflation, foreign goods become costlier to us and this reduce our imports. The combined effect of these brings about an improvement in the balance of payment. In the same way, the slowdown in the rate of economic growth decreases the level of employment and income in the economy and reduces demand for imports. This too contributes to an improvement in balance of payment. But generally, a very important monetary measure is deflation to bring down the domestic price level, uh, which will make exports cheaper, imports costlier, and thereby correct deficits in the balance of payment account. The second important measure, monetary measure, to correct balance of payment disequilibrium is exchange depreciation. Exchange depreciation refers to decline in the value of domestic currency against foreign currencies. When a country experiences deficit in its balance of payment, its demand for foreign currency will increase. This will raise the price of foreign currency and reduce the price of domestic currency. Depreciation takes place automatically due to the operation of the market forces of demand and supply. Depreciation of domestic currency makes our goods cheaper to foreigners and foreign goods expensive to us. This encourages our exports and reduces our imports and will improve the balance of payment position of a country. However, the method of exchange depreciation works only when the country is on the floating exchange rate system. Further, a danger of depreciation is that it may provoke inflation in the country. So, exchange depreciation is an automatic monetary measure to correct balance of payment disequilibrium. Devaluation. Devaluation is a measure of reducing external value of the domestic currency. Difference between exchange depreciation and devaluation is that while exchange depreciation takes place automatically, devaluation is a deliberate measure by the government. In the case of depreciation, the external value of the domestic currency will decline. In the case of devaluation also, the external value of the currency will be brought down. In other words, dollar become costlier, rupee become cheaper, making our exports cheaper and imports costlier. This will encourage exports and discourage imports. So devaluation will make foreign currency costlier, domestic currency cheaper, making exports cheaper, imports costlier, and thereby encouraging export, discouraging imports, and thereby correcting any deficits in the balance of payment account. However, for the success of devaluation, certain conditions are necessary. One is both domestic demand for foreign goods and foreign demand for domestic goods should be highly elastic. Neutrality of devaluation in its effect on cost price structure also is a limiting factor. Very rarely nations of the world as a last resort to devaluation to correct balance of payment disequilibrium. Exchange control also is considered as a very important monetary measure to control balance of payment disequilibrium. It is a deliberate measure by the government to reduce imports and improve the balance of payment. Under exchange control measures, all foreign exchange transactions are centralized with one authority, central bank, or a special agency established for this purpose. All those who earn foreign exchange from exports have to surrender it to this central authority against domestic currency. And all those who need foreign exchange to make payment for imports or for other uses have to get foreign exchange from this agency. However, foreign exchange may be given only for the import of essential commodities. There are different methods of exchange control like foreign exchange intervention, multiple exchange rates, blocked accounts, etc. Exchange control has the effect of reducing import by checking indiscriminate import of goods and services. This improves balance of payment situation of a country. So now the trade measures. Government can adopt various trade policies and change in them from time to time to maintain favorable balance of payment. Important trade measures are import duties. Government may impose import duty tariff on imports, making imports costlier and reduce imports. Even import quotas, imposing quantitative restriction on the volume of imports, which is a very effective measure than tariff in checking imports. Export subsidies. This is an incentive measure under which government bears a part of cost of production of goods produced for exports. So exporters will get incentives in the form of subsidies by the government. This enables exporters to sell their goods at lower prices in foreign market, and this will encourage exports. Commercial agreements. Government can enter into trade agreement with foreign countries with regard to mutual concession in tax, exchange of imports against exports, counter trade, etc. The other trade measure is diversification of exports. A country, instead of depending on few commodities for export, can diversify its exports by increasing the range of exports. In other words, starting the export of new commodities and finding new markets. This will help to increase exports from the country. Import substitution. Under this, efforts are made to produce domestically the commodities that are imported. This will reduce the quantity of imports and help improve balance of payment. For example, in India, we have resorted to Make in India. We have resorted to import substitution in the earlier years and now Make in India, encouraging domestic entrepreneurs to produce the commodities which are either to imported from the commodities. This will reduce the import. There are other measures also. The government can adopt measures like encouraging foreign investment in the country, developing international tourism. These are a very important other measures to uh, attract inflow of money into our economy and inflow of capital into our economy, and thereby to correct deficits in the balance of payment. So in this video, we have studied various monetary measures and trade measures to correct balance of payment disequilibrium. Thank you for watching the video.